So we're working on a power lift with a bad set of bearings in it. This is what came out. She's all chewed up right through here. Pretty bad. But I was taking it apart, and I know it's been several years since I've done one of these older style Brunswick power lift shafts, but correct me if I'm wrong, there should be a spacer in here. This one didn't have it, and I'm wondering if that might have contributed to its demise, that missing hardware. I'm going to take a peek around here and see if they've got anything. If not, we're going to put it back together without a spacer and jump on to the next thing. I spent a few minutes digging around the workshop here. They don't have a spare spacer, but we're going to send this. But keep in mind, this is, we're kind of bending the rules a little bit. Will it work? Yes. Will it last forever? No. Do they need this to last forever? No. Maybe, I don't know. They're hoping at some point in the very near future to get new machines. It's also very important to them that they have this back up and running today. They have some big events coming in, and they need all the lanes up and running, or at least as much as we can get them. There you go. She's all done. She's got new bearings, new shaft, missing a spacer, but we don't have time or parts. Let me rephrase that. We don't have the parts. We have the time, but we don't have the parts. Let's go slam it back in. You can see where that pulley was gouging into the side frame here because of that bad bearing. So the big difference between the older styles and the newer styles is that you don't have a plastic pulley that bolts on to the center, the shaft, right? This pulley bolts on to the hub. And the good news is, with this power lift, watch this. She wiggles. We can make a little extra work room if we need to. Well, it still wasn't enough wiggle room, so we took the nuts off of the studs around here, and we have tipped it backwards and opened that hole up. So we got her stuffed in there, right? But now we have to line the hole on the sheave to the hole on the hub. We got them all in there, right? But now we have to go through and tighten them with manual wrenches, because this is a very tight spot. Got everything in there all together, and the last step is a brand new belt. Some of you guys may have noticed already, that's not a clutch bearing in there. You're correct. I don't think any of these have clutch bearings in the lower side, and we're not going to change that today. Let's turn it on and see what we get. I did remember this time to move the flashlight up here, so I don't know, maybe we want another disco party? I'm not sure. I'm okay without it. She's on, she runs, she's pretty quiet too. Let's call this done. Well, maybe we'll sweep or vacuum up all of our metal dust here. That would be nice and courteous, wouldn't it? So that power lift is good. It is a little dark back here. You guys might remember this from last week. Got a new motor contactor for this circuit box. So we had that one sticking last week. She's in there, shiny new contactor. But let's look at contact points are pretty pitted out. I tried to file them last week to see if we could get them just a little more use out of it while they were waiting on parts. Unfortunately, that was not successful. But we have new parts now. So this is going to be kind of a weird one also. We were here a couple weeks ago and we found a bad wire for the relay contact points on the time delay module, and I had repaired that and everything tested good, but I'm still getting notes on the board about this machine not cycling. And what they say is they'll throw the ball, right? They'll roll the ball down the lane and it will score, but it won't cycle. So we know the ball detect is good because we get a score. We generate a score because we've broken that beam. But yeah, the not cycling thing is a weird one. I'm just gonna break the ball detect beam and cycle this until I can maybe figure out what's going on. So we've been watching it for about 10 minutes. I didn't bring my flashlights there, I left them somewhere else. But every once in a while, the relay isn't pulling in. So we don't know, maybe it's something in the time delay module, but my money is probably on the camera board. They've got vector scoring, and probably the relay on the camera board is what's going out. This particular pair of lanes has a, what's the word? A different camera board down there in their camera. We swapped it out a couple months ago. If you guys remember, we go back to when we found one, the camera board was dead, right? I don't know why the camera lenses keep jumping around. They can't pick and choose, but we replaced that camera board, and I think that's when these issues started. I'm gonna see if I can get it to fail on video. So we're trip the beam, cycle, and we gotta wait for pins because we're running 19. Trip the beam, and it went. Yeah, it's pretty intermittent. Well, I might have found an answer. Watch this. Block the beam. Nothing. So I think I got it to kind of completely fail on us. All I did is I wiggled white and green here in these Scotch lock connectors, and it stopped working altogether. So there's a good chance we've got a failure in our Scotch locks here. I wiggled the wires some more, and it seems to be working again. So this kind of lends some good evidence, if you will, to our Scotch lock theory. Break the beam, and she cycled. So let's go ahead and power it down, unplug it, breakers off, and we're gonna replace these Scotch locks. Or I've heard some people refer to them as Satan splices. I would tend to agree in this case. So we're gonna remove the Scotch locks, we're gonna cut the wires, and then we're gonna butt splice them together instead. There was somebody who had mentioned in one of the previous videos about this lane that these were terminated wrong. And I said they were incorrect, but guess what? They were correct. This is a crimp. This is a strain relief. These are improperly terminated. So, good eyes. I didn't see that. Thank you for pointing it out, though. So we're gonna turn it on. We are going to cycle it through the ball detector. I've got a timer going. We're gonna do it for 15 minutes. And if we have 0 failures, then we should be able to consider this a success. Well, I think that's gonna do it. It's been almost 20 minutes cycling this through the ball detector with my foot, and it has not failed one single time. So we're gonna call this a victory. We're gonna button everything up. We're gonna jump on to the next thing on their list. They've got quite a bit saved up, so you know, it's still gonna be a busy day. All right, next lane needs a turret clutch slide plate. It's a broken weld on the tab right here. Yeah, check it out. It's all cracked. So the last complaint of the day was Pinsetter is stuck on second ball. Detector rod is severely bent. I don't think the camera is doing it justice, but this thing is like horseshoed. I don't know how in the world they did that. I'm not even gonna ask. We're just gonna swap it out and adjust it. So X-washer is coming out. There's a nut. You can't see, it's too dark. There's a nut at the top of the detector run. Here, I brought one with me. We're gonna break that nut free. We're gonna take the X washer and pin off the bottom side and just drop the whole thing out and swap it. Cleared the board. Time to go home. Been here for 6 hours. We gotta pack up. I'm ready to go home. It's like 3 o'clock.